Start something new. I can't see what's ahead of me, but I trust you will lead me to be free. I wanna dance, I wanna fly. I don't know how, I never tried. Afraid I'll fall, afraid I'll die. Is this how I should live my life? So teach me how to step some time. Teach me how to soar the skies. Teach me how to feel alive.
Sup, opening and all? How are you? Let me know if the music is too loud or anything. Probably is, so. Alright. Begin in a few minutes.
So teach me how to step some time. Teach me how to soar the skies. Teach me how to feel alive again. So teach me how to step some time. Teach me how to soar the skies.
Hey, that's good. Sup, Zanio? How are you?
It's that first step I'm scared to get past through. Am I ready to start something new? I can't see what's ahead of me, but I trust you will lead me to be free.
That's weird. Why you... I'm okay, just got back from practice? Cool. What were you practicing? Was it Smash or something else? Something else? Alright. Yeah. Ayo. If it was Smash, I would have joined the stream frame 1. Alright. Well, that's how I know it to get you in. That's cool. Alrighty. I'm gonna stop the how to feel there. Just got home like 3 minutes ago. Oh, okay. But hey guys, how are you guys doing today? You guys are doing well? So, in case you do not know, I have recently dropped a brand new single called I Know What's Real, and already it is my most popular original song on YouTube. So thank you guys so much for your support. And today we're going to do a little bit of a breakdown of the track. If you have not heard it before, I will. If you have not heard the track before, then I will show it in a bit in my own DAW. You're actually going to see like all of the tracks I created for the song, and you'll hear each individual track. It's unlike the last stream where I just simply like described the process of building the song. So you guys are gonna see the actual stems, as we're called. Also, you may have seen that the title of the stream is called Music Monday. So what that means is I'm wanting to every Monday evening, like at least at 6 p.m. Pacific time, I want to stream myself making music or explaining music, something along those lines for sure. And if you guys want to see more of that, then do let me know. I love making electronic music, and I would love to like get started on new experiments and everything. I'm not going to release every single one I stream because it would take a bunch of different work, but you guys could actually see like the creative process into making these tracks. So yeah. All right, here is, let me just post a link in the chat real quick. You guys can check that real quick. All right, there, you can check the pinned comment if you, or the link in the description to check out the song for yourself. The lyric video I really like too. So you'll especially like the lyric. So anyway, let's get started. This is where I do my work. All of this. So that's how many tracks I have. Some of them aren't even used here. Like this one's completely empty. Like what the heck is this doing here? So yeah. Let's see. Looks like chat bot. Looks like the chat is a little late on the stream. That's all right. So anyway, let's close that one real quick, and I'm gonna start from the, oh gosh dang it. Oh, that's okay. We don't. Let's unloop that. Here we go. And I'll mute my mic so you guys can listen. Alrighty, and that's the song. Just want to know what you guys think real quick. Break it down. Yeah. So, let me give a little bit of background of how all this started. I was messing around here like you do, and I had this I was going through my old like music files from way back in the day, like 10 years ago. That old. I know what's real now. That's cool. Um so way back in the day, a friend of mine at the time was making this Flash game on DeviantArt, and he wanted me to create the soundtrack, and I put together just a bunch of samples, did a lot of quick work. It's a it's a pretty bad mix. What's up, Foxy? In all seriousness, I like it. Sweet. Thank you. It's a pretty bad mix, and I think I still have the sample somewhere. So, yeah, I have the sample right here. Let me go here real quick. See if it's still here. It should be. Downloads? Where is it? Title screen, yeah. So let's drag it in here. It's not very long at all. It doesn't really loop anyway. So what? No, let's put it in a separate track right here. Don't worry about these two tracks. These are reference tracks by Madion. So here's what it is right here. Shadow Rex, thank you for subscribing. Appreciate it. How are you? Oh, dang. Actually, that piano sample goes hard. What the heck? I didn't even notice that. That's actually cool. So yeah, I made this like way back in the day, and honestly, that's not my worst work. It's really not, even though it's just a bunch of samples and not actually me. So yeah, what I did, I was messing around, and I only like use this guitar part here, and I reversed it, and it's what you hear here now. It's not as loud as the original sample, but yeah. Let's see, like maybe over here. And for the xylophone part, like right here, I believe. No, right here. I didn't want to use the entire sample there because I feel like it would mess up the mix. So what I did, I recreated it in one of these tracks here. I think it's this one. Is it? Hold on. No, we'll get to that later. Let's see. It's this one right here. So right here. That's like the only melody right there. So yeah. And originally this was going to be just a house beat like you hear way later in the track over here, but I decided to make it like, I guess, more spacey and ambient and have a bit more of that classic KODM vibe from way back in the day. Oh man, some of you guys here don't even know about the KODM era. So, starting in like 2012, I basically started doing YouTube as a younger dude. I was one of those cringy kids making Minecraft parodies way back in the day. And yeah, it was pretty terrible. I made pretty terrible music back in the day. And my artist name at the time was key of duh minor. Like the word key of D minor, like the musical key of D minor, but it was key of duh minor. And minor was spelled like you were mining things cuz Minecraft. So yeah, I was one of those kids. Eventually though, I would go on to create my own like these sort of pop music a little bit. I was really influenced by a lot of pop music I would listen to on the radio, and I would start making all these beats of it. I was not a good singer back then, so I only like rapped on one of them. I'm not going to play any of those tracks because they are the bane of my existence. When is the return of the parodies? Peak content? Never, bro. Never. They are long gone, bro. Long gone. But, yeah, forgive me. My nose is stuffy today. It's kind of irritating, but whatever. I'll push through it. So yeah, I made those. And I was starting to get into electronic, and it basically birthed on beats like this one, where it was just me messing around with a bunch of samples. So yeah. To me, this track overall feels like what KODM would have been if it was good. So yeah, but this is a KroCal track, so yeah. What else? What else did I want to? Oh yeah, I was talking about how it's a lot more spacey, and I really love ambient pads. I really do. They sound so nice to me. They create like the sense of atmosphere, like in your completely different realm, which is why you often hear sounds like those in a bunch of my different tracks, such as I guess like How to Feel Alive or Embrace the Rain, even Living Coils, for example. But yeah, the pad was just this like a big chord here. And it was just this the entire time. It gets like a little more muted. Like it loses a lot of the low end way later in the track so that it could sound a lot cleaner. So yeah. And then I reversed the old sample of the video game tracks. And then I made it harmonize right here. And glitch out right here. Yeah. So by the way, about making your sounds glitchy. So what I do here in this case is I'll take an audio track and I'll take like whatever part here, highlight it, and basically just move it like that, for example. And I'll make it go smaller, and then you can make it sound like it's repeating itself as if a computer was glitching out. But for like MIDI tracks, I just simply like mute the channel, like automate it and mute it. So normally when you solo it on Ableton, it sounds like this. That's what it sounds like without automation. But with the automation, let's see that real quick. Like that. So that's how I do the glitch effect in my music. It's not too much to say about. You know what? No, we'll get to that later. When I was in the very early stages of the track, I found this lead right here that I really, really liked. Thought it sounded super electronic, uber electronic. This lead here. And yeah, I love the way the reverb sounds on it. It makes it so like sounds so otherworldly. And honestly, now that I have the lyric video out, I really like that the lightning strike is basically the representation of this lead sound here. Let's see, do I still have? Okay, I'll get. But yeah, that pretty much is the main focus on at the beginning here, but you hear it a little bit more in the mix here. It's basically helping complement the track for sure. And for the verses, I didn't want to have too many tracks because I felt like it would basically make the song sound more overproduced. And what that technically means is when there's like way too many tracks in the mix, so many that you can't hear anything and the track feels like really, really stuffed. That's what overproduction is. You definitely want to avoid that in order to have a higher quality mix. So basically you want to take the less is more approach, that it sounds decent. Let's screw it. Let's talk about the drum. So this one's not too complicated. It's just simply typical 808 beat. Let's see. Snare real quick. And then add in the percussion to give the song more energy. I really love that rising snare there. Like right here. That's pure electronic right there. Gosh, I love electronics so much. Can you tell? What else? But really, this wasn't the entire original beat when I started working on the song. It was a house beat, so it was at like the tempo here 123 BPM as opposed to 137 over here. So it goes like this instead. It's that classic boots and cats kind of beat. And sometimes that's all you need to make the song really groovy a little bit. But actually no, it's not all you need, but it's the most important part. You don't need like a bunch of like extremely like complicated like symbols like what I have here. Honestly, I want to know what it sounds like when I put it over here. See. What does it sound like with the rest of the mix? Oh yeah, no. Okay, I forgot. There's actually another sample for the percussion that I use here. So let me solo these again real quick. See, it should be, yeah, it's right here. Hats and snares. This is a really good house beat sample used for percussion. It's very, very groovy. Then I go over here and then I add my own stuff. Let's see here. Yeah, the drums give the loop here a much, much bigger punch. You really feel the impact of the beat. You can literally feel anything with a beat like this. Might even like some generic piano, for example. Let's see. Where's a track? Right here. Like, hold on. I'm just gonna do a generic chord. Okay, my keyboard is way out of sync. But yeah, you get the idea. Oh man. Like loops like that matter a lot, especially in electronic music. So, what else do we got? Maybe I guess my vocal. We'll talk about my vocal. So no. We'll talk about the lead. So like I didn't do the verses first. Usually when I write the lyrics of a song, I always start with like the chorus, what I want the main idea to be. So the I know what's real right here. Let's see. Should be right here. That's basically what you do. That's you really want to. So do you have a reoccurring le motif? I don't know what that. I'm so sorry. Oh, leitmotif. Out a musical. Okay, so yeah, basically, these tracks are about they're basically they come from my spiritual walk. I am a, I am a Christian, so I do love to write about my own personal life. Love to write about my own personal life, and I wanted to express like my own journey, my own struggles, both in my faith, my life in general, without like being too cheesy, if that makes sense. I just want to sound as genuine as possible whenever I write my music. So yeah, but the way I came up with the lyrics for I Know What's Real was I was messing around with a vocal sample that I got from a friend. We were messing around. He sang like I think he was singing he was singing Believe. Yes, Believe by Cher. That's intriguing and fair. Yeah. He was singing Believe by Cher, and then I chopped it up, spliced it, and it made it sound what you hear now. Like the melody, that's where the melody comes from. But I don't know if I still have it. Where is it? Is it still here? I might have I got rid of it. But yeah. Oh, you know what? No. I'll actually play a demo real quick. I have a demo of it somewhere. Let's see. Music? Words do come from the heart? Yeah, no. Definitely. Let's see. Real demo? No, that's not it. It's ID. Yeah, right here. So let me drag that here real quick. When in doubt, use your friend's voice but chop it up. Yeah. So here's what it is. Here we go. So yeah, that was the sample I was working with like way early on, and I was very conflicted with using that as like the main idea of the song. And I did think it sounded good for a bit, but on some parts like it sounded a little too rough, especially in the second segment here. Like that ida eel, that part, to me that sounded too much like a meme, so I ended up not using it. And so I decided to use my either my own vocal or actually write lyrics based off of it. So I did record my own vocal and I wrote lyrics based on it. I came up with "Now I know what's real, not cause how I feel, but I've seen you heal, cause I know you're real." I really wanted to use the eel kind of sound. That's like the main idea, the main appeal of the track. So that's how we got this.
Now I know what's real, not cause how I feel, but I've seen you heal, cause I know you're real. Now I know what's real, not cause how I feel, but I've seen you heal, cause I know you're.
So yeah, that's how I came up with that. The verses were also yeah. As for the second segment, I decided to I wanted to reuse my vocal here. Let's see, I'm gonna enable that. And so this is a vocoder. So I'm gonna turn off the vocoder real quick. Let's see. Yeah. See, vocoder, where is it? Okay, yeah, right here. This is what it sounds like on its own. Oops. Right here. It was in a much higher octave previously, but I wasn't confident in the way it sounded. So I decided to pitch it down and mash it up with this vocoder that you'll hear. So this is what the synth sounds like. You gotta have the melody, like you gotta have it match. You have to match like the actual melody of your vocals. So let's go back here real quick. And when I turn on the vocoder, okay, we're fine. Oh gosh, I hate it when OBS does that. I really do. It's so obnoxious. Yeah. Anyway, where was I? So I got that second segment done. Eventually, I came up with the verses. Let's see, right over here.
Where was I back then? I had lost my way. What I wanted then had gone. Were you there back then, singing over me? Was I too deaf to hear your song?
So, yeah, this lyric was I wrote this lyric cuz basically I'm not going to get super specific, but in my own life I really struggle to get like basically the life I wanted. Um I wanted my own way in life, and oftentimes I still do, but that's not the it's cuz sometimes I really don't know what I really want until yeah. You never know what you really want in life. And I was I wrote the part "what I wanted then had gone," where I thought I would finally get it, but then it was basically out. And the ways of what I was trying to get were just not, I would say, correct, if that makes sense. Basically, I felt like wasn't doing I was doing it my own way, and my own way sucks. That's basically what this lyric is about. And right here.
Were you there back then?
Singing
Singing
over
over
me.
me.
What
Was
I
I
was.
too deaf to hear your song?
But yeah, were you there back then singing over me? And what that basically means is I look back, he was there back then, he was singing over me, but at the time I didn't know, I was too deaf to hear his song. That's what I mean by this lyric.
Were you there back?
I really like that lyric personally. Then what was verse 2?
I had tried to fix my own broken heart. Every burden took its toll.
I had tried to fix my own broken heart, every burden took its toll. So yeah, oftentimes I would like try to find all of these ways to like cope with like my own personal struggles and my own pain. And I'm not going to get specific about what kind of pains they are. It is very personal to me and does get me a little bit emotional too, so yeah. And I try to fix my own way. I try to often, I'm still guilty of this nowadays too. That's one of my biggest struggles actually. But sometimes I will find ways to like deal with what I'm going through, if that makes sense. Um and that's not to say there aren't any good methods out there. There are, such as hanging out with friends, therapy and all that. That's complete. Those are all good and valid. However, sometimes there are things where in my own life where I feel like I need a miracle, if that makes sense. So that's why I say this here in the rest of the verse.
Then I saw you move, shining through the dark. Can you come and touch my soul?
So yeah. Then I saw you move, shining through the dark. Can you come and touch my soul? What that means is like where I wrote that from was I have friends. I have friends, they were going through their own struggles. They trusted me enough to basically let me know. And obviously I'm going to protect their privacy and all that, but I'll give you the general picture. They gone through their own stuff, and sometimes we would pray that God would come through and basically help out in their situations, and then not long after I see that they actually do come through and help a lot, and it brings them closer to him, if that makes sense. So yeah, he was shining through their dark. So I'm asking, because I have witnessed that, I believe he can. Believe he can heal what I'm going. So that's why I ask him to come and touch my soul. And that's basically the general gist of the chorus too.
Now I know what's real, not cause how I feel, but I've seen you heal cause I know you're real. Now I know what's real, not cause how I feel, but I've seen you heal cause I know you're
Yeah. So I've definitely seen a lot of things, and I believe a lot of the Bible is true. That's just how I feel. Yeah. And I say that it's not how I feel because there are plenty and plenty of days where I feel like that God is in my life like blessing me or whatever, but then on days where it's bad, where I'm having a bad day, sometimes it feels like God is distant, if that makes sense. But the problem with that is like, as I demonstrated in the first verse, like, I agree with you. Sweet. Thank you. Thank you guys for being open to what I'm talking about here. The first verse, I was talking about, were you there back then singing over me? Like, the things I wanted, I was disappointed and honestly upset that I didn't get the things that I wanted. But I asked here, were you there back then singing over me? And he was. He absolutely was. I didn't feel it in the moment, but he was looking back. Because that's the thing. Um, God's presence, the way he does things, it is not based on how you feel. It absolutely is not. He will work no matter how you feel. And honestly, if you're feeling down, and I hope this encourages anybody out there, if you're feeling down, if you're going something really, really big, even if you don't feel like, God loves you or anything, or you don't trust him or anything like that, tell him. Just tell him. He can take it. He is the creator of the universe, man. He can. Yeah, despite how you feel, despite the odds and circumstances, you are absolutely not alone. You are absolutely not alone in the way you feel. But he is there. You can vent to him your frustrations and all of that. Because again, I do believe he is real, not because of how I feel, but because I've seen him move. And I believe I will see him do it again. I hope that blesses somebody is watching this today. Thank you guys for open about all this. But yeah. So as for the vocal itself, less about the lyrics, and let's get through the vocal part now. I do a lot, and I mean a lot, of processing when it comes to my... It did? Thanks? Oh, thank you so much. Yeah. Thank you so much. Alright. So, here's... Let's see. Oh, gosh, I'm losing my train of thought. So I do a lot of processing on my vocals. I'm gonna mute a lot of plugins, and I'm gonna show you like how the track sounds on its own. I'll loop the "I Know What's Real" chorus real quick. Let's see, yeah, right here. Let's see. So this is what my vocal normally sounds like.
Now I know what's real, not cause how I feel, but I've seen you heal cause I know you're real now.
Yeah, I know, I sing pretty out of tune. Yeah, I didn't detune those vocals or anything like that. Yeah, my autotune is quite precious, so... And here's the thing about autotune. It's not just like a be-all, fix-all solution to your vocal. You still have to sing okay. You have to sing decently to actually get the autotune to sound good. So like let's say in the verse right here. Yeah. So as you can see right here. Oh, my stream layout's blocking it. Hold on. Let's see. So as you can see right here, where it says -9, I detuned that so that I could actually get the auto-tune to sound better. And I think I did the same right here. Yeah, I tuned this upward. Because if you don't tune your vocals correctly, if your vocals sound too out of tune, the auto-tune is going to trigger a lot, and it's going to sound like a complete garbled mess. You can't always use just your voice to achieve certain sounds in electronic music. Yes, that is true. That is true. You got to do a lot of processing, but you still should have a decent vocal in the first place. When I want to start performing live someday, so I do definitely gotta work on my vocal, make sure that it sounds neat, but maybe I'll invest in a live auto-tune effect or something like that. So, let's hear what the vocal sounds like real quick when I add in each plugin.
Now I know what's real, not cause how I feel, but I've seen you heal, cause I know you're real. Now I know what's real, not cause how I feel, but I've seen you heal, cause I know you're real. Now
I have a backing vocal too. Live Cal, yeah. I technically am live though. So that plugin here is ultra pitch, and basically what it does, it makes my vocals sound higher. So let's see, where is the blue one? Let's see, this is what it sounds like without my normal vocal.
Now I know what's real, not cause how I feel, but I've seen you heal, cause I know you're real.
I know, it makes me sound like a demon. Liver Cal. I like that. That's funny. It looks like it's spelled liver cal though. That's funny.
Now I know what's real.
But then when I add in the auto-tune, I reduce the formants on my vocal a little bit, and I keep the speed a little low so that the auto-tune isn't triggered too much, if that makes sense. Excuse me.
Now I know what's real, not cause how I feel, but I've seen you heal, cause I know you're real.
Chick bunk cal, yeah. That's what it sounds like. Then here's some delay and reverb. Basically, it makes it sound a little more fancy.
Now I know what's real, not cause how I feel, but I've seen you heal, cause I know you're real.
And here's the OTT, which is a multi-band dynamic compressor. I'm not going to get into the specifics on what it does, but basically it makes your, if you use it in a certain way, it makes your vocal sound a lot more flat, like a lot more bricked. So like, let's say you see how this track down here has like a lot of the black space filled, and when you zoom out, it looks like a complete like like a brick. That's basically what it does. So yeah, when I add that on,
Now I know what's real, not cause how I feel, but I've seen you heal, cause I know
as opposed to off,
Now I know what's real, not cause how I feel, but I've seen you heal, cause I know you're real. Now I know
I do this on, I flatten this on purpose because when I have it like off,
Now I
you
know
can see that
what's
it's
real, not cause how
oh
I
gosh dang it,
feel,
it's covering
but
again.
I've seen you heal.
Let's see, where is it? My, nah, that's not it. Oh gosh, I gotta add chat in. Now, see, where is it? Logo. I'm very disorganized. There it is. Okay, so anyway, right here,
Now I know what's real, not cause how I feel.
the vocal right here, you see that red?
Now I know what's real, not cause how I feel.
That means the track is distorting, and even if you can't necessarily hear it right now in the mix, if I export it, it's gonna sound like garbage. It's gonna sound extremely noisy. So I use this OTT. Not sure if you really should use it for this, but I did it anyway. And if that breaks any rules, I really, really do not care. I don't, okay? Whatever I gotta do to get this mix to sound good, to get this song to sound good, I will need to do it. If I have to use an OTT just to make sure the track doesn't distort, then I'm going to do it. I really do not care. All right? But yeah. So now it's underneath the default level, which is good because that means my volume is a lot more under control and it sounds a lot cleaner. Honestly, what does it sound like without it?
Now I know what's real, not cause how I feel, but I've seen you.
Ooh, oh gosh. Yeah, that is ugly. Oh my gosh. That's exactly why you can't have your vocal too loud. So when I add it back on,
Now I know what's real, not cause how I feel, but I've seen you heal, cause I know you're real.
there you go. Now it actually feels like it's a part of the entire song, which is very, very important. This is why you guys gotta learn how to mix if you want to get into like audio production, And what mixing is basically changing volumes of certain tracks here in a specific way. You don't want any of them too loud, you don't want any of them too quiet. You don't want any you don't want any track to like take up too much focus of the entire track. You want to be able to hear everything. If you want the vocal to be like the main idea of the track, then you definitely should have like you should definitely have your vocal as like, I guess, a little bit of the loudest in mix, but don't make it so loud that you can't hear anything else, because otherwise it's just gonna sound terrible. So yeah, that's basically how the vocal is applied. And yeah, in the backing track, yeah, it sounds pretty bad. But it's important. It's important. Oh yeah, throughout the entire track, I have this pad sound that I or a synth, I should say. Studio highlight. Ooh, I like that preset. Then I mute the highs during the second segment, so it sounds a bit like this. Oh, you know what? No, this whole entire second segment was like pretty tricky to figure out where to take it, because drums here, they have like their own effects and everything. Oh, I didn't get the. So you hear how that snare has that reverb, that echo. Then in the second segment, I completely cut it off. I wanted this to sound a bit like, I guess, more unusual, a bit more peculiar on purpose. I wanted the track to sound really dry at this part. And also, let me just say, I absolutely love piano sounds, like pretty piano sounds like this one. Oh, geez, right over here. Yeah, nothing too much to say about that. It's just that, yeah, if you don't just like use a generic piano synth and okay, you know what? Yeah, you can use a good, if you have a good grand piano, if you can tune it just right, you can make it sound a bit like a real piano, but don't use like a generic MIDI piano. That makes sense. Because the last Black Eyed Peas album that came out last year, Elevate, that uses a lot of generic MIDI piano, and it sounds terrible, especially considering the fact that Black Eyed Peas are as famous as they are. So, yeah, it's terrible. Random question if you don't mind, but how do you decide on all the different sounds, since you have to consider them all put together and not just individually? So, when I consider different sounds, you basically gotta mess with a bunch of toys. Basically, so like here, for example, there's like a whole library of different sounds that you can hear, and you can preview each one. And if you want to mess around with them, you definitely ought to play them a little bit. So like right here, for example. Ooh, let me do a bit of Mario. you basically got to do a lot, and I mean a lot of experimenting. Sometimes I'll find a sound that I really like, but there are parts of it that I don't like, so I go into that sound, so like the bass for example, and I'll tune certain things, like I'll cut off like the high frequencies, I'll make it not sound as buzzy, like as distorted as it was originally was, so that you would only hear like the booms and everything, like how grumbly it is rather than how distorted it is, if that makes sense. So yeah, you got to do a lot, and I mean a lot of experimenting, and you got to come up with melodies you really like too. Um, and once you do, once you do all that, you basically got to go through a lot of trial and error to see what works. You got to get it to a point where you absolutely love it. You absolutely love it. And if you don't love it, then it's either not worth pursuing, or you got to try something else in that song, if that makes sense. There's a lot of thought process that goes into the track, and I am so glad I ended up with this one here. Absolutely one of my favorites. Sure. I didn't like it that much at first because of the way it sounded at first, but as you continue to work hard, as you continue to try different things in the mix and improving the sounds you already have, you're going to love what you created a lot more. And once you do get to a point where you absolutely love it, you're going to have that desire to share it with the world, and that's how I basically end up releasing my own music on different platforms. That's why I really want to talk about my life, talk about my walk in the way that I really love doing. That's why I do what I do here. But yeah, Foxy, that was a very good question. Thank you for that. Let's go to the bass. Where's the bass? Right here. I only have like one bass sound. It was a lot more grumbly in the early mix, so like right here. Oh, no, wrong one. Where is it? Oh, I must have deleted it. Crap. It's okay. It's okay. We don't need to hear. But yeah, let's go here. Yes, here. Oop. There we go. I don't know if you can barely hear it, but so yeah, for sure. Thank you. So you may not be able to hear it right now, but this is what's called a sub bass. So I have this EQ, right? I already cut it off like in the track itself. Right here, the cutoff, basically the point where you don't hear any of their stuff. That's it goes up to like 180, which is like somewhere around here, I would say. So let's say high end. So let me go right here and do it like all the way up. So this is what it sounds like when you don't have the cutoff on. Oh gosh. EQ scale. Oh gosh. I guess it's not that different. Did I change something? I guess I did. Oh yeah. I love this guy right here. This is called a sausage fattener. And what it does, it basically makes your sound a lot more distorted. It basically makes your sound like less weak and a lot more strong. And it's very simple to use. I absolutely love it. I recommend it to anyone who is into like electronic music producing. Don't go overboard with it though. You got to know what you're doing to use it. So, yeah. So yeah, did I not? Maybe I completely changed the sound, and I guess that's what this is what it sounded like at default, but let's see. Yeah, I don't know. So basically, if I cut off enough low end, for example, I'm going to go way, way less than 180 hertz. You're not going to hear nearly as much as that sound as opposed to without that cutoff. So yeah, that's basically what I do. The reason I cut off a lot of high end on basses is because I don't want them to like collide with other tracks with high end. So like this, for example, there's a lot of high end here, and I don't want that colliding with the bass. So yeah. Now as for the bass line itself, in the verses I have it like just as a straight one note bass. Hold up. I want it to just remain simple for the verses. But when you get to the chorus, it sounds a lot groovier. So what I did here is I cut the bass into like eighth notes, I think. Yeah, I think it's eighth notes, if not 16 notes, so that it goes, instead of going like do, it goes like do 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 do. Instead, it makes it a lot groovier. It makes it feel like it gives the song a lot more energy. And also, I didn't want them to be just on the same plane like this track here. So this track stays in the exact same octave in the entire time. So it's pretty plain. But here, I like half of each measure, I have it in a much higher octave so that it gives it a lot more energy. It gives the song a lot more life. You got to think about changing melodies and changing octaves in order to give the song a lot more energy. You can't just use one note and call it a day. I mean, I obviously did here, but you get my point. So yeah. Anyway, is there anything else I can talk about? Maybe the synth. What's this? Ooh, I like that. What was this? Okay, yeah, this is a very bright synth that I really like. So I'm gonna turn off my vocal there. I'm gonna... and I'm also gonna turn off this. So the things about this track is that it's higher octave. What that means is it makes it sound a lot more brighter. And it's basically helping this guy here sound a lot more special, if that makes sense. So that one's like, that's like mid octave, and this is high octave. And when you put them together, the sound sounds a lot more alive. You know what? Let me see if I can increase the mix a little bit. I'm gonna put it at like -3. Oops. Hold on. And here's the thing about this. I already absolutely loved this part when I was making it. Like the way it sounded and everything, but I didn't have like the vocal lead here originally. So let me turn the animation here. So yeah, as part of the instrumental, as far as instrumentals go, when you're creating an instrumental, when you're creating the beat, you got to get to a point where you absolutely love the instrumental before you can actually come up with the lyrics and all of that stuff. Maybe even the vocal lead. You got to work on all this stuff first. The bass. This is your foundation right here. The bass, the synths, the things on the sides, the pads, the drums, all that stuff that doesn't have like a huge focus. Not taking a lot of it's not like the star of the show, if that makes sense. It's basically like a whole band without a lead singer. If your band does not sound good, what makes you think the lead singer is going to save it, if that makes sense? Your band has to sound good first. And if your band doesn't sound good first, then the song itself is not going to be that great. Make sure your band sounds really, really good. And then once your band sounds really good on their own, then you can start creating a focus for it, creating a lead here. And in this case, my lead was just simply like my vocal completely processed and chopped up. Sound a lot more glitchy. Gosh, I love this part so much. You guys have no idea. I'm actually so glad that it's like my most popular original song on YouTube right now. I really am, because this is one of my favorite things, one of the best things I've created for sure. So yeah, that's pretty much it. There's not a lot else to talk about, but yeah, I think I'll just end the stream here because there's not a lot to go through. But yeah, I hope you guys really enjoyed the song. If you want to help support, share it with your friends and everything. Check it out on YouTube. Check out the lyric video on YouTube, and check out the song on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, wherever. It's available everywhere, and it's not hard to find at all. So yeah, I Know What's Real by KroCal again. I like music, so thanks. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in. And yeah, this was fun, and if you guys want more, I will gladly do this again. I'll make this like a regular thing, but next time I'll start like actually creating something, if that makes sense. I'll go through my entire library, we'll see what we come up with, and you guys can join me in helping create. Have a good day. Yes, you too, Foxy. Have a good day. Alrighty. You guys have an awesome day, and I'll leave the VOD public for you guys so you guys can check it out later if you want like a whole process.